Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, so I only have just like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But I do have a question if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, so when I'm putting my numbers into and I'm also in my car, so I don't have any of my
Sure.
CR. But when I'm setting my MRR,
Mm-hmm.
so in I might be confused about what you guys are using for that number.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have been putting in there is my like average spend per customer, like my average revenue per customer.
Yes.
Is that what you guys are calling MRR? Because in another spot in my company, I have my monthly recurring revenue separated from my monthly clients, my
Mhm.
bi-weekly clients, and my weekly clients,
Yeah.
which,
Yeah. So that's a really great question. And I'm glad you asked that. I've thought about that a lot, and I've had other people ask that question as well. And we were talking about it on a call the other day. So it's a really important question. So if you are tracking a monthly recurring revenue goal as opposed to like an annual goal, since you're in maid service, and just for context for everybody, um, then what I would track is we want to see when we say monthly recurring revenue, I we're not just talking about like how many actual recurring clients you have and like we're only looking at that revenue. I want to see what's your total revenue each month. The reason why I don't necessarily want to track monthly recurring revenue by itself, now you could, but it would make some of the things that you do in the software a little bit more complicated. For example, in WarPlan, we're tracking how well our marketing is performing and how well we're getting new customers per marketing channel. And if you only are tracking recurring customers, you could be missing out on some data as to like, well, where are my one-time customers coming from? How many actual sales did I get versus just recurring sales, like how many total sales did I get? So I think it gets a little bit muddy when you try to only track actual recurring revenue, if that makes sense. In maid service, we've got our recurring revenue, which is the bulk of our business, and then we've got the one times, which is kind of the cream on top. So I track all of that as one. And then here where it says, what is the monthly revenue per customer? Then this would be an average between the two. Does that make
okay.
sense?
Yeah, so I think I'll have to check that because it must be because I'm not seeing the that part. What is the monthly revenue per customer? So then
Oh,
if I have my setting to, if you would go up a little bit,
yeah.
if I have my setting to increase total revenue,
Hmm.
that still be showing up.
Right. So if you set it to increase total revenue, it is going to operate a bit differently.
Okay.
And I think for a maid service, it kind of throws it off a little bit. Um, for one, we're not able to track our attrition rate if we're tracking the annual revenue, which is what this is. So if I increase total revenue, it's set up now as like an annual thing versus increasing my monthly to get to a certain place. So increased total revenue is more like if people only buy from you once or twice a year, like in pressure washing or plumbing or whatever the case may be, that's more useful. But for us, because we have a really big base that we build off every single month, and we want to increase that base and kind of just watch our numbers go up throughout the year. So, so yeah, I would highly encourage for you from maid service to switch over to the monthly recurring revenue model. And what it'll do is it'll allow you to um, set the monthly revenue per customer. There's a few different ways to find that, but really you just want to take your average ticket per customer and then multiply that by how many times they buy from you per month.
So how would you get an average of how many times they buy from you a month if
Yeah,
you're taking them all together?
yeah, that's a great question. So thankfully, I built a tool for you guys,
Oh,
and it's under if you go to Battle Group on the left, and you'll go to Group Resources, and there you'll find a link here. It says Client Frequency Calculator. If you click on that, um, all you need to do here is put in how many weekly clients, how many biweekly clients you have, how many every 4 week clients, how many initial cleans are you doing each month, you have skips, what's the total number of recurring clients, and it'll give you an average number of cleanings per month per client. So in this case, it's like 1.7 is my average. So let's say my average ticket per cleaning is $185. I would take $185 times 1.7, and that would give me, that would give me the average revenue per month per customer that I need to put into the software. Does that make sense?
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Looks like a great tool.
Yeah, so yeah, you can use that. You can find that super easily in the group resources and download a copy of that. And all the yellow fields are the ones that you change. The gray
Mhm.
ones are the ones that, you know, stay the same. Um, but let me go back here. Yeah. So I want to put in my monthly revenue per customer, and you'll click on advanced settings. And you want to put in your COGS here. So it says, how much does it cost to service a customer for a month? So like for maid service, if you have a 55% COGS on average, you put that, whatever that is, 414 times 0.55. That,
Okay, another question about
yeah.
COGS. So I have my COGS are my cleaning supply, my cleaners, what I pay them all in isn't my COGS in my company.
Okay.
So is that what this is? Is this the cleaners 55%?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And you could choose to include supplies or not. It kind of depends on what you're tracking in your company and how big it is. I mean, in our company, supplies was like a little over 2%, so we just didn't put it into COGS. I put it in overhead, but it kind of depends on how you're tracking it. Um, Whatever you're tracking, you just want to be consistent with it. Make sure that you always track the same things every month, and that's the most important thing. And then you can put your churn rate in here or your attrition rate. Now there's a new feature here you'll notice. So you can track either leads or other. I recommend doing other and just typing in customers. So this will be blank and you just type in customers. And then how many customers typically equal one customer? It's one. So we talked with Josh about this just to make sure we were all clear. So that's the way it's supposed to be set up. And then it'll tell you how many new clients you need to get every month to stay on track with your goals. And so basically, I need 15 new clients, 16 new clients, 18 new clients. Um, and you can adjust this. Like if you know your summer is really slow, you can bring it down. Or if summer peaks for you because you're in a college town, you can bring it up. So it's really up to you. And then you'll notice as I change this, it'll change my monthly recurring revenue goal. Mine was 98,000. That's what I want to achieve. So let me there we go. And so basically I need 159 new customers before the end of the year to get to my monthly recurring revenue goal. So that's how we do the monthly recurring revenue. So that's what I would recommend for any type of recurring service. So maid service, laundry service. Let's say you had some kind of subscription or membership for your company. I would track it this way so that you can account for attrition and some of these other things that can really help dial in your numbers a little bit better. Does that answer your question, Kate?
Yes, thanks.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Have a good
Lots
one.
to say. Yep.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, so that is how we would do the monthly recurring. I'm gonna actually delete this because we've got some folks on here now that are more one-time services. And so I deleted my goal. I'm gonna refresh the page just because I've noticed software likes it when we refresh sometimes. Get a clean slate. And so what I'm going to do now is actually set up how you would do it if you do have a one-time service, like one time per year. Let me check the chat. Oh, Sonia asked, what program did you use to make the calculator? I used just a Google sheet, so a spreadsheet to make this calculator. And you can go into your links in the group resources and download that. It'll be really helpful for you. So you don't have a battle plan, it says. So because I don't have a battle plan, none of my money levers and my marching orders are not really going to work. So I want to create a new plan. So I'm going to call this 2024 annual goal. And this time I want to increase total revenue. So let's say that my start date was January 1st, and I just want to end it by the end of the year. If you wanted to, this is kind of a ninja trick, if you will. When we're reverse engineering our goals, we want to be careful that we want to give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room so that we can actually achieve that goal and not get mad at ourselves at the end of the year. And so what you could do to reverse engineer this a little bit better is let's choose the end of November to compress the amount of time that we give ourselves to achieve our annual goal. And then December, whatever happens in December is going to be icing on the cake. And so it'll help you to stay more on track with your goal. So let's say our expected revenue, and remember, this is your base revenue. So let's say I did 500,000 last year. Okay. And I feel like I could just let the business coast this year and we would do another 500,000 without me really trying. Okay. Or maybe I take it down to like 400,000. Just let's say, I didn't really spend anything on marketing and it's just all organic. We could easily do 400,000 this year. But my goal is I want to get to 750,000 by the end of the year. But I've told it that I want to get there by the end of November. And then there's a few different ways you can track your customer value here. Now, this is really important. Let's say, I see Alex is on here, which he's a plumber. And so let's say that the annual customer value is, we'll just call it, I'm sure there's, he does some really high ticket stuff and then a lot of middle of the road stuff, I'm sure, little repairs here and there. Let's just say that the average person spends $1,500 per year with him. And then we'll choose what we want to measure. Some people just like to measure leads. Maybe if you're a contractor, that make a lot of sense. Like you just need deal flow. That's really what you're focused on. I'm going to track other again, and I'm just going to put customers. Okay. And then one customer equals one customer. Does it take longer than a month to close a deal? In our case, probably not. Whoops. And if you're a contractor, it might take 2 or 3 months of quality conversations for you to land a deal that's, $50,000 or whatever. So be thinking about that. And then we're going to build the revenue curve. Now, this revenue curve is based on my historical financial information that I put into the software whenever we first set it up. And so you can see the revenue curve, my natural buying cycle here. You can adjust this if you want to, and sometimes it takes a second, but it'll move accordingly. So you can adjust this if you want to, if you feel like there's some nuance, maybe like it dips down in August for whatever reason, you know that about your business, you can put that in. Okay, and then it'll show you how many customers you need each month to stay on track with your goal. So in January and February, I need 16 and a half. We'll just round it up. In March, I need like 21. April, I need about 19. May, I need like 18. And I jump up in June, I want to get like 25. That's one of my peak seasons. I know November is a peak season as well. And notice it's not counting in December. So again, I'm going to make December the icing on the cake at the end of the year, which is fun. And then if we scroll down, it'll show us we need in total 233 new people to buy from us this year at an average ticket of $1,500 or average annual customer value of $1,500. So that's 233 people, which is 350,000 in additional revenue. And my total will be 750. It's a very ambitious goal. Maybe you want to dial it back, whatever you're comfortable with. I would encourage you to take what you're comfortable with and then make it a little bit more. I like what Michael Hyatt, he calls it the, I forget what he calls it actually. Not the delusional zone. We don't want to be in the delusional zone with our goals, but we do want to be in the discomfort zone. That's what he calls it, the discomfort zone. So I don't want you to be delusional. I don't want you to be totally freaking out, maybe a little bit freaking out, but what you know is possible, but stretch yourself a little bit to do it. All right, so I'm going to confirm and start this battle plan. Okay, so now I can see what it is. It just kind of gives me a high level view. I can view my battle plan. I can see where I am, where my progress is for the year, and then where my pace should be. So if you notice, I'm actually a little bit under my pace, and the deadline is November 30th. Here's my goal, 750 for the year. My current revenue so far is 147,000. I should have done 232.5 by this time, and I'm under by like $85,000 and $85,500. So I'm a little bit under, but I know that I actually haven't done my tracking for February yet, so don't tell anybody. So I need to fix that. And so then this is telling me, this is really cool. This is really powerful because it shows you what how many customers you need to get each month, which we looked at a little bit ago. But then because I'm under this green line, oops, is now an adjusted pace. So I actually need to bump it up from 19 in April all the way up to 31 to stay on pace just because I'm so far behind. But it's actually just because I haven't done my tracking. But that is cool because it shows you how much you need to do to get back on pace, which is super helpful. Okay. And then let me check the chat real quick. Oh, Alex says it's pretty accurate. So that's good. I got his numbers pretty close, which is great. Cool. All right. So we've set our goal. So now I hope you guys understand how the progress works. You can always come in here and edit your goal. The main thing I would say with this is, let's say you just really increase your customer value through strategic marketing. Maybe you raise prices. Maybe you came up with a whole new package bundle that increases your average ticket by like $500. Well, then you could come in here and change that. And of course, it's not gonna, oh, I see what it did. It actually changed my goal. So you probably, now that I'm doing this and you guys are watching me kind of mess up in real time, which is good for you if you learn something. So probably if if your average ticket did go up significantly, you'd probably just want to delete this goal and start over with a new goal, because it'll update just a lot cleaner. Okay. I've noticed that whenever I tried to change goals, it doesn't work very well. It doesn't like it. All right. So now I'm going to go to my marching orders. Now, when I set my mix, it knows that I need 5 new customers this week. And, I can, maybe I spend $100 on Google this week and I get like around 2 customers. Go to one networking meeting every week. Maybe maybe I'm going to do 20 yard signs. That gets me some more customers. I'm going to do some like 5 Facebook posts. I just need one more customer to close my gap. Let's just do some more yard signs. We're just going to host it this week. All right, perfect. I've closed my gap. And so it only cost me $299 and 4 hours of work. And the cool thing is, I know each customer is worth like $1,500 to me. And so I only spent $300 and I'm getting, $7,500 worth of work for, not a ton of effort. And so, of course, based on your money levers, all this will be different for you. And then at the end of the week, sorry, let me back up. So remember, that's what you want to do like on Monday. You come into the office, sit down in the morning. Okay, based on our goals and everything, what do we need to do this week? And you know what best works for your company in terms of the marketing levers, the money levers that you've set up. And so then on Friday, so the week's gone by, hopefully I did all the things. I did my 40 yard signs. I did my networking. I did the Google guaranteed. I did the Facebook posts, and maybe I even went crazy and did like 8 posts, whatever. But you're going to come in here on Friday and we're going to start tracking what we did for the week. And so I'll do, I'll just say I did all these things. Yay. And then plan next week and confirm that. Okay. And then you can revert to last week if needed. You can change the tasks if needed. But really, for today's call, I really wanted to go over the tracking. We have some new things in tracking that I want to show you. And so let's go ahead and pretend like, so we're in April 4th. So let's pretend like I need to do my tracking for the previous month. And so I'm going to go to tracking. If you notice, I actually already did March. And so I'm going to go ahead and do February. And let's say that I did like, let's say I did $80,000 in revenue in February. And we have a cool feature now. A lot of people ask for this. So you can now track either monthly or weekly. Monthly is perfectly fine. Both are equally good. But if you really want to stay on top of it, if it makes sense for you, some people will like to do weekly and just come in and have that cadence. Others will prefer to do just at the end of the month and see what happened. Again, they're both equally great. Just really depends on what you want to do. I'm going to show you how the weekly works really quick. The monthly is super simple. So let's go ahead and do the weekly. So let's say I'm going to do Google guaranteed. So number of Google guaranteed, 1. I'm just doing, one ad basically. It doesn't take me any time to set up. It's already set up. And I spent $100 this week. Okay. And so I'll save that week. And so this is cool because notice that one's green now. The rest of them are red, meaning I haven't not into those weeks yet, let's say. So I could get out of here and I could come back next week and update week 2, week 3, week 4, and so on. Okay. So that's how we'll do the different weeks. And then at the end of the month, you'll come in and do the resulting revenue. So let me just add one more. So networking. So this week maybe I did 2 networking meetings. It took me about 2 hours and it cost me like, I don't know, $30. And so I'll save that for my week, and I'll keep adding all the different things I did. So maybe I did Facebook posts and group shares, or I did Facebook ads. Maybe I did Facebook organic posts by themselves, Google ads, Nextdoor, yard signs. So it's up to you how you want to do it. And then at the end of the month, you'll come in and put the whole thing. So that's how you do the weekly. I'm going to delete these just because I want to show you how the monthly works. It'll be a little bit cleaner, especially since I've been doing the previous month. So I'm going to switch my lever tracking cadence to monthly. I'm going to add networking. So now I'm doing this. Notice how it doesn't have the weeks anymore. Now I'm just thinking about the whole month. So I'm like, okay, I did 4 networking meetings this month. It took me about 6 hours with all the back and forth. Cost me like $100. And then, you can pull up your CRM and see how many jobs did I get from networking. Well, I got 2 jobs. I'm sorry, I got 2 customers. And this is redundant, so just put the same number here, how many customers versus how many brand new shiny customers created. And the resulting revenue would have been like $3,000 based on my average ticket. Could be a little bit more, a little bit less. And I'll submit that. I'll save that. Okay. And then I'll do another one. So let me add Google Guaranteed again. Really, well, if we did 1 ad each week, technically it's 4 ads. Costs us $400 because we usually spend $100 a week. And then the resulting revenue from that source, again, you pull up your CRM and it'll tell you. So let's say that we got like $5,000 from that. Ended up being like 4 customers that we got from that marketing channel. I'll do one more. Let's do yard signs. So somebody calls in your office and you did like 100 yard signs this month and took you like 3 hours to set them up. It costs you maybe $500. And then somebody calls you up and says, hey, I saw your yard sign over by the golf course. So let's say you got $4,000 from this. Maybe got 3 customers total. Submit those changes. So, you're not always going to get $1,500 per customer. It's going to go up and down depending on what people need. And some marketing channels will perform better than others. So keep that in mind. It's not always going to be perfectly cut and dry. So our total revenue is $80,000. But remember, part of that was probably my base customers. These are like brand new customers that I'm getting with these different deals, but I'm also getting a lot of back-end stuff through my email campaigns and text messages and referrals and other things. So these are kind of my brand new shiny customers who have never done business with me before. So I'm going to confirm this monthly update. All right. And now that's all in the system. Now, when I go back to my battle plan, I'm going to go and view my progress. And you can see now that I'm only under my pace by $5,500. I can totally catch up with that. I have, the rest of the year to do it. And so now I'm a lot more on pace that I've done my tracking, if that makes sense. And so now my adjusted pace of customers is quite different than it was before. So now I'm needing like 5 and 6 less customers per month to stay on pace. And I'm feeling really good about that, right? So that's basically all you need to know for your tracking. And it's really simple. I think the way that the goals have been updated is really helpful. And then just come in here to marching orders, go to your tracking, and just decide if you want to do monthly or weekly tracking. I would highly recommend whatever you do that you're really consistent with it. So if you choose weekly, just get in that rhythm of doing weekly and stick to it. If you choose monthly, just stick with that. And then don't feel bad if you miss a month or something. Just come back, go back at some point, take a Saturday morning really quick, plug in those numbers. I mean, you see how quickly I did it. Obviously, it's going to take you longer because you got to look at your CRM and do all the things and make sure. But the whole point of this is to make it easier for you, to give you more confidence in your decisions, in your marketing decisions. And the way that that is going to happen is by just doing this tracking, putting in those numbers. And then there's an amazing, amazing report I want to show you guys, and then I'll take questions. So if you go to data over here on the left, you're going to see your money leverage report. Okay. And this is based, these numbers are based on some things I put in the past. And so choose measure that you want to visualize. I'm just going to do customers, and there's brand new shiny customers, customers only. Honestly, I'm not really sure why it's like that. You can also measure leads, but we're measuring customers. So just keep it on that. I can choose all available as far as the time frame, or I can customize it. Let's say I just wanted to see like last month. So March 1st to March 31st. But it says no records found. And so let me just do all available. Why is it doing that? Okay. Okay, here it says customers only. Here you can run a CAC report on all 12 monthly lever records. Okay, so it does tell us, okay, so it says that you began measuring customers on blank and have 0 documented records. Sorry, I should have done some reading. So this means this is basically telling me, hey, you just created your goal today and you just started tracking new customers today, technically. So we don't have any historical data on that. And then brand new shiny customers, your current measure of success is customers. You have 1 records related to brand new shiny customers from 311 to 311. And then leads, it says I have some leads that I had measured. But customers only gives me a CAC report of like the big picture, if you will, all 12 monthly lever records. So I could generate that report. It'll refresh all that data that I just put into it. And so now I see with my Facebook ads, my average ticket is like $2,000. My CAC is 58. I've got some specific Facebook ads on this one neighborhood I'm targeting, and I can see the information on that. Let's say my Facebook posts, average ticket $600, which isn't great, but it's not costing me anything. So I might decide I want to do more of that, and so on. Networking has a low CAC as well. Yard Signs has a decent CAC, not great, but it's still like only 10% of my average ticket. So like I'm doing good. So, this will obviously my numbers are fake. Your numbers will be a little bit different and more accurate. But this will give you a really good sense of per marketing channel, is my average ticket higher or lower? That's important to know. If we're per marketing channel, is my CAC really high or really low, or is it 0? And do I want to focus more on that channel? And you can actually, let me see if it'll rank them. Looks like it doesn't want to. Okay, no worries. Cool. But the money leverage report is super helpful for you to really give you that confidence that, hey, my Facebook ads are working, or hey, they suck and I want to either try some different Facebook ads, because you don't want to just give up on a marketing channel, but want to try something different, and then create a new money lever for that. So anyway, with that being said, I want to see if you guys have any questions. Do you guys have any questions about any of this, the goal setting goals, or the marching orders, or the money levers report, any of that stuff, tracking? No questions? All right, awesome. Well, hopefully I did a good job of explaining it. And what I'm going to do is post this video. Once we're done recording, I will post this in the in your battle groups. Mine says facilitator tools, but in your battle group, under the group resources, you'll see a link for all the call recordings that we've had with the money missions, and then putting extra things like this in there. So it'll be really helpful for you. And Alex says it won't let me unmute. I just sent you a thing to unmute. Let me know if that helps. Normally you're able to. Alex, if you want to type your question in the chat, you're welcome to, and I'll read it and do my best to answer it. So I'll keep an eye on that, Alex. He's typing. So let's. Oh, and check this out. My company valuation went up just now. So if I wanted to sell my company today, it just went from 555,000 to 608,000 based on my revenue and what I'm doing, my average ticket and everything. So, this number is a ballpark, but it is actually a really good indicator of what your company's actually worth if you were to sell it. So as you do tracking, you're going to see this go up. Another cool report you can pull when you go to data. You can see your current company value, and you can see how much it's increased for the whole year. So that's super fun, right? And then don't forget, you can check your capacity curve. So right now I'm over capacity, but in June, I need to hire one person. I know that I'm going to run out of capacity. And this is all based on your curve, I mean, your goals and your revenue curve. So it'll tell you how many people you need to hire each month to stay on track. All right, so Alex says, since I'm in my first full year of business, is it going to be a lot more trial and error for my CAC, and how much I can do with each lead generator, since I don't have a great way to track what is working best? Okay, that's a great question. Let me ask you this, if you wouldn't mind. Oh, you're able to unmute. I was connecting to audio now. Alex, if you're able to unmute, go ahead. But if not, you can type in the chat. But you know your net profit margin on each job, right? And is that pretty standard? Because that's the most important thing for calculating our CAC. And CAC stands for customer acquisition cost. So our CAC, let's say Alex's, yes, I do job costing with each job, he says. So if $1,500 is your average annual customer value, and we'll just say that that's average ticket as well, assuming each person normally only buys from you once per year, then let's say that your net profit margin is like 30%. It could be way more than that. It could be less. I don't know. But I'm just gonna guess. So your net profit margin is 30%, which is $450. Okay. So that's your max CAC. Okay. But it's your first year in business. Maybe you're working by yourself, and if you spend $450 to acquire every single customer that you get, you'll probably go broke pretty soon. So maybe you decide to cut that in half, or we could just call it $200. Um, is your absolute max CAC that you want to do. And so then you have at the very minimum a net profit of $250 per job. Okay. Still not a ton. It's not like amazing, but you got to remember that that's your maximum customer acquisition cost, which means that those customers are going to refer other people for free. They're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their family. You're going to get plenty of customers for free if you're doing Facebook and Instagram, things like that. If you're going to networking meetings, some of those get you referrals. And so don't freak out if you see, oh my gosh, $200 for one customer. You're not spending $200 on every single customer. You just need to know what is the maximum that I'm willing to spend to acquire a new customer. And if I spend $200 to acquire one customer that spends $1,500 with me, and it'll probably use me in the future and refer me to friends and blah, 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 then like you're okay. You're doing great, actually. Um, so let me reread your question. Since I'm in my first full year of business, is it going to be a lot more trial and error for my CAC and how much I can do with each lead generator? So I wouldn't say it's trial and error. I mean, there's a little bit of that, but you want to like, go ahead and decide what your maximum customer acquisition cost is. And then, yes, you are going to have some trial and error with your different marketing channels, especially in your first year and even your seasonality. It takes a couple of years to really get to know your seasonality. You can talk to other people in your industry. It's usually pretty standard. But when you use your money leverage report, you do want to, this will be really helpful for you, especially in your first year. So this is where I think the software really gives you a ton of confidence, is uh, showing you what's actually happening, what your real customer acquisition cost is per marketing channel. And let's say my max was 200. Well, I'm way under that on every single marketing channel. So I'm like, I'm I'm happy. I have free customers. Josh calls them free customers because you you're not losing money on those people. You spend a little bit of money on the front end to acquire them, but then they pay for themselves. And especially when you get referrals and things. So, do a good job, show up, do a good job, be on time, smell good, oil your beard, and those kinds of things, and make people happy. And then you'll see those customer acquisition costs go down. But does that does that answer your question, Alex? Awesome. Said yes. So yeah, so customer acquisition cost is a beautiful thing, and knowing it is even more beautiful. And I just think having the software to give you this confidence and know what's actually happening in your business and with your numbers is incredibly powerful. So that's why I wanted to do this call today, and really highlight the tracking, because the tracking really is where the rubber meets the road in a lot of ways, because it shows you what's really happening, gives you a lot more confidence. And like I was saying, in your case, Alex, when it is the first year in business, you're like just kind of feeling your way through the dark and you don't really know what's going on. And even after being in business for 6 years, half the time I didn't even know what was going on with my marketing channels. I was really shocked whenever I did a marketing audit before I sold my company. And it took me a long time to do that marketing audit. And when I did, I realized in 2022, I had wasted about $14,000. I'm pretty confident on marketing that didn't work. So don't be like me. Use WarPlan, which I didn't have back then, and and do your tracking, and you'll just be able to make way better decisions when it comes to marketing. So, did you guys have any other questions? It was a really good question, Alex. Awesome. Well, a couple of other quick encouragements I wanted to give you guys um, is don't forget to use uh, your battle bots. So I highly encourage you, if you've not been using this to write email campaigns, oh my goodness, you're missing out. Um, Come in here and generate some email campaigns. And let's just do one really quick. I'm going to do my April campaign. You can call it whatever. That's not public facing information. I'm going to go to fun holidays. I think you should always use fun holidays. Let's say April 4th. Don't tell a lie day. I'm not going to do that. Um, and then Be Kind to Lawyers Day, Barbershop Quartet, Grilled Cheese Day. Everybody loves good grilled cheese. And I'm going to talk to my customer avatar. And let's say this expires at the end of the month. And I've got like 10 spots available for some special that I'm doing. And I want my tone to be funny. And I want it to be brief. And I always, pretty much always want to include an offer. And remember, you can edit your offer on the fly. So if you just want to be like, say, $50 or something, you can do that. So that's pretty cool. And then you can say, uh, Larry's dog ate his grilled cheese, so he needs to buy a new one. Oh, I'm being so ridiculous. Here we go. Generate that content. So I'll take a second. Sonia asks, I'm not able to get the calculator to open. So Sonia, try going to, I don't think I can pull it up here, but try going to the one, there's one under links. Don't use the one under documents. There's one under documents that I haven't gotten to work yet. The one under links works. I just used that one. So try that one. I believe it's on kind of the bottom left-hand corner, and it'll say client frequency calculator. All right, so here's my April email campaign. So it says, and I love how it uses emojis. That's fun. Don't let your cleanliness grill you. Save $50. Hey there, cheese lovers. In honor of Grilled Cheese Day on April 12th, we're melting away $50 off our top to bottom deluxe cleaning. Why? Because much like a grilled cheese sandwich, we know life can get messy. Remember the time Larry's dog chomped on his cheesy delight and he had to buy a new one? Well, we can't replace your sandwich, but we sure can spruce up your home. So that turned out kind of weird, but it's okay. You can always edit it or change it. Change the prompt. Sign up for weekly or bi-weekly cleaning with a 60-day commitment and enjoy a home so clean you could eat a grilled cheese off the floor, but please use a plate. Hurry, we've only got 10 spots available and this offer vanishes quicker than your favorite sandwich on April 30th. Stay cheesy and clean. So pretty cool, right? And whenever you do the email campaigns, they'll always shoot out 3 different emails for you. These will convert way better than your typical emails mainly because they're not boring, and they have emoticons and their subject lines are like off, like weird, like it's weird, and so people notice it. I had an email in my inbox this morning that really caught my eye. Gosh, I wish I could remember what it was, because it was like, what is this? Let me see. It says don't trip. So it's like, okay, I have to open that. Like, what does that mean? Don't trip. Like he doesn't want me to fall. Like why am I gonna fall? Why am I gonna trip? I don't know. I've got to find out. So I opened his email and it was really interesting actually. So anytime you can do something different, you're gonna get more eyeballs. And if we're doing boring emails like if it just says save 30, well, let's say it says, I don't know, trying to think of a good one. Schedule your next visit, or something like that. That's not really going to get people to book with you. But if it piques their interest and it's weird, and then you're going to get a lot more eyeballs on it. So what I encourage you guys to do is come into the BattleBots and sit down on a weekend. You could schedule all of your email campaigns for the next 12 months. You could even do 24 months, which I actually recommend because in your customer life cycle, they won't be seeing the same thing every year. It'll be a 2-year cycle. So I highly recommend that. You can do your regular holidays, but then you can also do your off weird holidays, one for each month, and just have fun with it. And I guarantee you'll notice a difference in your response rates and everything. So have fun with that. Hook ideas are amazing. If you guys haven't used this, one of my favorite tools actually is to come in here and use the hook ideas. And so I'll just copy one of these. Are you tired of guilt and shame weighing you down? Discover our guaranteed deep top to bottom cleaning to restore your energy and home to spotless haven. So I'm going to copy one of these hooks and I'm going to go to my blog posts. I'm going to delete Sally's name. And then it's about my top to bottom deluxe cleaning. I can include an offer. I can choose the tone, always optimize it for SEO. Have them call our phone or even book now. And then generate a blog. So this is amazing. These blog posts are really, really good. If you guys haven't used this yet, this can help revolutionize your SEO and get you a lot more eyeballs on your website. And Google really does look at how often you update your website. So that's one reason why you want to have your client reviews going to your website every week. Have some kind of widget that automates that for you, and other things that just update your website. But regular blog posts can really help with that too. It's taking a second. It's almost done. I'll just show you guys this. So blog title is Say Goodbye to Grime and Guilt, the Clean Pro Maid Service Way. It's my company name. Do you remember the spotless homes of yesteryear where everything gleamed like the top of the Chrysler building and the floors were so clean you could eat off them? Yeah, neither do we. But here's the thing. While I've been chasing the dream of a perfectly balanced life, the dust bunnies have been multiplying under your bed and the fingerprints on your windows are starting to look like a toddler's art project gone rogue. So it writes out a whole blog post for you here. In asterisks, these are like sub headlines that you can use. Um, and so I encourage you to read through this whole thing, make sure it's on point. You can change stuff as you want to. You can even edit it on the fly. But feedback is actually like uh, questions based on like if somebody were reading this, it gives you questions based on it, and you may even use those to write other blog posts to answer those questions. So lots of possibilities here. I highly encourage you guys to have fun with these. The battle bots are amazing. And I hope that really helps with your marching orders and uh, setting your goals and your battle plan and tracking and all the fun things. So thank you guys for joining me today. Did you have any more questions did you have any questions?
Um, Not really too much questions, but I was wanting to let you guys know that I did actually find a unique um mailing thing. They're called video boxes. Have you heard
Oh,
of those or seen those?
is it like where there's a card and you can put a video inside of it?
Yeah, yeah.
I saw those one time. That is super cool, but I didn't know what it was called. So video box.
Yeah, if you search video box, they come up with different ones and whatnot, but I haven't really researched it too much, but I've just come across some of the commercials on like Facebook and whatnot and thought that would be interesting because like for somebody like me, I really don't want to do yard signs
Mm-hmm.
because with it being the massage industry, I don't it just doesn't look very professional to me for that.
Sure.
So I was thinking, something like that would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. The video box sounds really cool. You could even do like a mailer packet to like local business owners who have,
Okay.
a certain amount of employees. Um, that might be a good fit for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, very cool. Well, awesome. So, very cool. Well, thanks for sharing. Well, I hope this is helpful for you. And if you have any questions, just let me know. You can shoot me an email or a Voxer, however you prefer. All right. Thanks, Sonia. Have a great week.
All right, thank you. You guys too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.